my talk is not so relevant, but listening to his experience with Swami is fantastic. And on the top of that, we have the ice cream as well. We had a sister Aparna, and she is mentioned there. So I think she talked about the car, so I will also start something in the car to end the story, whether you remember the Sai Ram or not. I won't use the car word very often, but that is very relevant. But one of the things, yesterday, I was part of the group, selfless service group, and we chose the 5 groups and the people who gave the presentation. And I was surprised that in those 5 presentations, 4 were the ladies, and 1 was the young man. He dared to come from one of the group. So this is the power of the ladies. Where actually Aparna has left, I will start from there. When you talk about the deities, have you ever thought of turning the name other way around, whether it works or not? When we say Sita Ram, Lakshmi Narayana, Uma Maheshwara, Radha Krishna, try to say other way around. Does it work? It doesn't work. Not musically, not your tongue doesn't roll out. Can you imagine? We think the Western world says the ladies first. The scriptures has said before, Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayana, Uma Maheshwara. Maheshwara is nothing without Uma. And you remember when Sati has put her body into the Daksha Yagna, what happened to him? And he was roaming around all over for Sati. When Sita was taken away, what happened to the Ram? All the divinity has gone. He was going and asking the tree, where is my dear Sita is? A man cannot do without that Shakti. Purusha cannot do about that Shakti. And so nice to see that Shakti power is here. We must recognize the power of that Shakti part, our ladies. Please give them a big hand. How wonderful work they're doing. These are not my word. The Swami said because he was telling us about the Anandpur girls. And Swami says, it is not only Anandpur girls, they are Ananta. They are my ambassador, but they are Ananta. Ananta time they are connected to me. From time immemorial they are connected to me. So that is how Swami's recognition is. So the first story, which actually I was reminded by my 2 wonderful MCs. They have done a great job. I think they also deserve a big hand, please. They are doing a great job. It was a camp, actually, in a place called Stavropol. It is a border of Siberia and the southern Russia. And in Russia, one of the biggest problem is that we do not have enough English-speaking people. So we have to take the number of the doctors and the volunteers depending on the number of the interpreters available. So in the beginning, we used to hire the people from the school of English, and we used to pay them $10 per day. At the end of the 9-10 days camp, many of these people who are interpreting the language of Sai love to the patient. When somebody comes, elderly man, we say, oh mother, how are you? If it is a young man, oh brother, how are you? They have never heard this sort of expression from the doctor for the patient. And they were absolutely surprised. From which planet these people have come? Our doctor says, what is the problem with you in Russia? And they'd say, Dasvedania, go immediately. Miss, finish prescription, go. Here, somebody is holding their hand and talking. So these interpreters, they were listening and all those things. You won't believe at the end of the camp, when the question of payment comes, we went to pay all those 10 people, $10 per day for 10 days for 10 people. It's quite a lot of money those days. They refused to take. They say, you have come all the way and you have taught us the lesson of the language of love. We will be the part of your team whenever you want us. And about 80% of them have become the Sai devotees, and they are the regular people coming. That is the things which our words can transform the people. And the similar thing, I had an interpreter, and that girl has been interpreting for me for last almost 20 years. Every single camp, she'll come and interpret for me, and wherever there is meeting, she will always be there. She had a son. The story goes in the year 2000, and the son was about 6 or 7 years of age. Every morning, the discipline is that we go to far villages. So there are cars with the numbers, number 1, number 2, number 3. And you have to remember which car you have to go, which car has your interpreter, which car has your equipment, which car has your medicines. If you, by the way, go into the wrong car, whole day has gone because they go far, far places. And so that's what the discipline, and goes around the clock, absolutely well-disciplined way they are raised. So one fine morning, the first day of the medical camp, I'm going to the car, and this 8-year-old started crying because all these Russians, they bring their entire family with them because they come long distances. And have a wild guess to come to attend the medical camp. How many miles they travel? Any guess? Wild guess. Not the, not Rama because she has been there, and Dr. Chai, her husband, because they have been there. Anybody else? 4,000 kilometers. They travel 7 days in bringing the car. And somebody asked me, Dr. Upadhyay, why can't they take a flight and come? If everybody come with the flight, who will take the doctors to the villages? Who will take the social worker to do the Narayan Seva? Who will do the work for repairing the hospitals and that thing? And the number of the people is always over 200. And the living conditions are so bad that sometimes there are no toilets. We have to really dig 3 holes every day. That is our toilet. When it is filled, you fill with the lime, put the fire onto that, and then move another one. One toilet for men and women. In the morning it is ladies, and in the evening it is men. That's for the discipline. And many of them, they were so busy they did not have the time to have a bath because they have to get ready. So how many people? 200 people waiting for the one bathroom to go. But they look every time so fresh, as if everybody had a wonderful bath and everything like, and they smell so beautifully. So one day I asked during the meeting, what do you do? He said, you remember, doctor, once you mentioned to us that in Mahankaleshwar, after giving the snana with the water, with the milk, with the honey, and with all panchamrit, ultimately they put the vibhuti on Lord Shiva's thing. So we do the vibhuti snana. That is their devotion and dedication. So just as we are ready to go, this young boy of 8 years old come and hold my white coat. It is essential that in Russia you have to wear the white coat. Now from the Western countries, it is nobody wears the white coat. It is gone. But they're very immaculately dressed. The doctors have to be, and they always ask. So this boy was holding my. He knew he's the only one who will help me. So his mother said, Vladimir, you go, because there are other children. So they run the Bal Vikas classes. They run the craft classes for them. They invite the local people. They take the children to the orphanage and teach them how to make flowers, drawings. So much wonderful things goes on. And then they get a place in the center of the town where they do the exhibition. So they are very well engaged. And some of the people work in the kitchen every day. And probably you have heard the name of one wonderful lady, Donna Gillespie, the great singer. She was my regular, medical camp volunteer. During the daytime, she will work in the kitchen, and in the evening, she will entertain with a fantastic bhajans to the people. So, Brother Sunam, we always need a singer for our medical camps. There it is. So, this boy was asked to go and play with the other boys because they had a lot of games arranged for them. This boy will not move, you could see. And mother was getting a little bit disturbed because the time, if you don't live in time, the places are too far away, roads are not very good. Siberia is itself, those days, was quite a difficult terrain sort of a thing. And this area was hit by a very bad floods. And the president of Russia visited there and he found it was impossible, but you won't believe. The Sai organization has really renovated the whole village in such a way when the authorities came to see, it was a new gift for the school, for the gym, for the church, and it was given to the people of that. The mayor was stunned that these people came to do the medical camp. They have renovated the entire thing. The pans which we are completely broken and all those things. They got some of the beautiful designers and all those things, and they did the stained pens of the Mother Mary and Jesus. Their devotion is so fantastic. But this boy will not move. And we were getting late. So our head of the, Russian, that man is very, very strongly disciplined. His name is Valery. He will not tolerate anything 1 minute here and there. And he said, Vladimir, go and play. This fellow just hid behind me and he will not go. I realized, I told Valery, you go and look after the other people. I will talk to this boy. I had no option. I have to take this boy with me. We came to the camp. And those days, camp ran very, very late. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night. In Siberia, the sun does not set during the summer till about 2 o'clock. There is hardly any time. Probably 1 o'clock in the midnight, it will be like this. They call midnight sun. There's that much light. So people keep coming, so you can't finish the camp. So this boy, to take in such a place, arrangements were very thin, what to do. We went there, and I was thinking, what can I do about him? So I realized the best thing for this boy is, after some time, he will be tired. So I took him to the registration desk and asked him, you sit down here. When auntie does all the registration, you do one thing. You translate the name of the person in English and write down which department he has to go in the English. That is your time. Like that person's name is Boris, you write down in English Boris so we can. And if the person has to go to cardiologist or eye specialist, you write down eye and heart, then it will be easy for us to communicate, because otherwise every time you have to look at the interpreter even to pronounce the name. And this boy was very happy. It went on. About 1 o'clock, somebody came to me and he says, Doctor, you better come to the desk, registration desk. I went there. I saw this boy. His lips were absolutely dry. He looked dehydrated almost. I asked, what has happened? He said, since you have left him 8 o'clock, this fellow did not have a sip of water. He did not even get up to go to the restroom. He's just sitting here and doing this work. So I asked him, Vladimir, what happened? He said, Uncle, you have gone inside. If I go out, if I drink something, I have to go to the restroom. If I go to the restroom, these people will not allow me, and I can't find you. That's why I decided not to eat or drink anything at sea. That is the dedication, 8-year-old child. Brother Gene Massey was with us. He was doing the documentary. He did the documentary on him. And you won't believe, the end of the camp, Gene asked him, what is your message to the world? He says, love all and serve all without any expectations. 8-year-old boy. Can you imagine? This is what exactly. Age does not come into play at all. They have got so much of Swami's love. Swami rewarded him duly. When he was a 14-year-old boy, he went with Mother and Sai group there. Swami called him, and Swami materialized the ring. And he says, this is the reward of your dedication. Swami remembered each and everything and explained to the people. Swami has got 1,000 Sai. If you have done his smallest service anywhere, you will find that it is there. And this is what is such a fantastic thing, actually. This is a transformation. Now that boy has become the youth coordinator of Russia. He was selected to take the delegates of the Russian people to Puttaparthi, and he became the translator. Can you imagine how much time he has to spend with Swami when this delegation talking to Swami, and Swami is talking to them. Swami speaks on the language. I have got this personal experience myself. But sometimes Swami give the chance to other people so that they could be there, the part of the interpreting department. So from there, the 8-year, Swami has taken to that height. So that's why Swami says, if you have got the purity of in your intention, age is no bar. You can do anything you like. Until date, he is still working. He just came to the last, 2 weeks ago, I was in Russia. This is in the northern part of the Russia, and he was still in the camp. So this is what shows 20 years is a long time to come to camp every time. And these people, I have not seen that gopis and gopalas. But after seeing these people from Siberia and the Russian countries, I realized These are the gopis and gopalas reborn as Swami's devotee when the Sai Krishna was in Vrindavan. Because I have seen that they are really madly in love with God. That is what the word means, rasya. Rasya manabasya. I looked into the dictionary. That is what rasya, who is madly in love with God. They went a stage ahead. They told when I went for the first time in Siberia medical camp. A small town, 1,000 Sai devotees in Siberia. And they say, it is not Siberia. It is the garden of Sai. The Beria is the garden and Sai is the name Swami has given, Siberia. They connect themselves so much with the God. The essence of this story is not that their love. Swami sent you to learn that look how much love and dedication you have. I went there thinking that I will tell them the meaning of the Gayatri Mantra and tell them some of the, Swami's scriptures and other things like that. No, they were there and I was there. That is what Swami wanted to teach you. Crush your ego. What medical camp you are doing, go and see the dedication of these people. To end the Russian story before I move to another continent, I just want to finish. I told you the difficult position and in the camps for the people to not have a place to sleep and other thing. People come when they're pregnant 8 months, 9 months to the camp. Why? They want to serve. I asked one of the lady that, sister, why did you come? You see, doctor, you remember in one of our satsanga, we always have satsang one day where we talk about the scripture and Swami. I may have mentioned the story of Abhimanyu when he was in the womb. He learned how to go into the Chakravyuh, but he did not know. So he said, we come here so that my unborn child will have the vibration of service. This time she brought the 3-year-old with me. Unfortunately, I did not get the picture, but I will send to Brother Hari to share with you. This is what they think. They want their children to learn when they are there. Why? Because Swami has got the scriptures so much embedded in their mind. It has happened in Mahabharata. So make sure that your children get trained. That's why there is so much a surge of love. That is what exactly it is. So this is something now. And Brother Hari also asked me, and you won't believe that how the things happen. I've got Brother Ravi here. Probably he met me in some more than 25 years ago in a small little island, which is called Island of White. And you won't believe, all the devotees in that area, they are white. It is a small, tiny island. And we had a satsang there, and they asked me to speak. So when first day I came, so Brother Ravi said, Dr. Upadhyay, you must mention that story. So this morning when I was with the SSC children, one of the girl asked a most touching question which nobody has asked me. How did you meet Mother Teresa? That's a big story. Probably you can listen from the Balvika, the SSC teacher, they can tell you. But this story was, why Swami has sent me to go to Mother Teresa? Why? Swami himself is a great teacher. He is doing such a great work. His mother asked him to make a small school. There are 3 deemed universities. So mother asked to start a small little well. Now he has got a biggest water project in the world. The mother simply asked him to start a small clinic hospital. Now we have got the super specialties hospitals. This is what, the son's gift to the mother and to the world. Where we can learn the service, the best place is in Puttaparthi. But Swami knows there is something lacking in us. So sometimes he sends you to different master. Like, the Vashist himself was a good thing. But when Vishwamitra said, take Rama Lakshmana to the jungle, here they have to learn different type of service. So you have to change sometime your pathway to purity. So Swami put me to this path. So it was an amazing story. Swami created a drama. I was doing the medical camp in the foothills of the Himalaya, and for some unfortunate reason, there was a strike, so we could not go to Bangalore, and somehow our plane was redirected to Calcutta, and nobody knew that we were coming to Calcutta, but Mother Teresa sent one of the sister of the charities, bring this man called Dr. Upadhyay to me. And I thought probably Mother Teresa means some other Dr. Upadhyay, not this tiny Dr. Upadhyay, because she's such a magnanimous person. So I thought I must use this particular misidentity opportunity, because from the childhood I always wanted to have her autograph. So I knew that there is a mistake. They must be looking for another Dr. Upadhyay, because the reason is very simple. Nobody knew that we were coming to Calcutta, because it was a redirected flight, because they strike on that route. So it was very difficult. But I said I should take the opportunity. At least I will see her. And she said, no, not him. I mean another big Dr. Upadhyay must be somewhere. So I said, fine. And this sister, one of the nuns, those beautiful white saris they wear with the blue ribbons. And you won't believe, all this has been done by the lepers. And the lepers, they grow the cotton, they weave like charkha with like Gandhiji, and then they make this sari with hand, and she proudly wears. That has become the dress code all over the world. That's what she gives so much pride to these lepers. And she sits with them, and that is so wonderful. That's amazing. And so to cut the story short, because that is what it is. So when I reached there, she took my hand and he said, would you do a medical camp for me? Then I realized this is Swami's drama. I'm a small, tiny little doctor. If Mother Teresa wants anybody to come and do the medical camp, there are thousands of the doctors. But I asked Mother, why me? She said, we know that you are trained by your Lord to work in any circumstance without discrimination of caste, color, and culture. Coming from her mouth, can you imagine? That is the connection of the saintly people. And the incidents with Brother Ravi was referring to was, there was an incident actually. There is a lot of myth about Mother Teresa, about the conversion and other things like that and whatnot. It is all because I worked with her for such a long time. She became my godmother. She carried my children in her lap like, a grandmother. My wife will tell you how lucky our family is to have a godmother like Mother Teresa in our life. One side, Swami is holding my hand as my father, and that is a Mother Teresa side. They both trained me to do the right thing to serve the people. And whenever I went wrong, I had a slap. I'll come to that story that I also be reprimanded when you do the wrong thing. When you work with the God, it is not easy. So this incident, every morning they go and they see that if the people, unwanted children from the people who are in the flesh trade or whatever, have thrown the children on the street, they collect them and bring them and they feed them. And they look for the people and they say, if you want your child to be trained in your own faith, let us know what faith you belong to, what name we should give. And if nothing happens, it is like, somebody leave a child in front of your door, you go to the police and police says, you keep the child till you, and then he grows in the Sai atmosphere, and probably you will call him Sai Prasad. And she has come from the Catholic thing, so if nobody claim, she will come Roger, Robert, or whatever. So this is what exactly thing. So one day, early morning, they were just walking, and Calcutta is the worst for the smog. It's not a fog, it is smog. You can't see even 5 yards in the morning, it is so bad. Pollution-wise. And as they were walking, they just heard that somebody was crying, a painful cry coming out. They looked, they could not find. And suddenly they saw there was a gutter. And they could hear that somebody is lying in the gutter. And now these ladies cannot go into the gutter. So you know what bhaiyas are in India? Dudwalas. They go on the cycle with a canister on both sides. They are called bhaiyas. They are all over. So they requested, everybody knows Mother Teresa's people, so some of them stopped, some of the people helped this man bring out. And there is a place just behind Kali Mandir, most famous Kali Mandir. And this place is called place for dying and destitute, the people who have got a most terminal illness, most infective cases, nobody will stand next to them. She looks after the people there. And you know what she called that? What the name she has given? Anybody? Yes, brother? Nirmal Hriday. The pure heart is the name just behind the Kali Mandir were these people. So, the group of the doctors were working, and this body was brought there. And you won't believe, the moment the body came in, the smell was so unbearable. The pus pouring out from the body. He was bitten by the rats, God only knows for how many days. The wounds were so fleshy. You can see, even the doctors did not have that thing. Naturally, what you do, you just go and grab a glove in order to just take care, because protection is a good thing for the doctor. Looking for the gloves. By that time, she has taken her sari's pallu and started cleaning. Shouted at her, "What are you doing? You get infected." Listen to the word carefully. She said, "If your child is bleeding, would you look for the gloves?" Until unless you have got that much love for everyone, you're not fit to serve the people. I realized why my dear Lord has sent me to Mother Teresa, to learn that this is what exactly the care is. That is not that a person, you look for the gloves and other things like that. And I asked her, "Mother, what will happen if you get infected?" He said, "I have got the shield and protection of the dear Lord. Nothing will happen to me. And the day it happens to me, I will take as a gift of Him. That is the way He wants to travel." This is what her... And this is one side of the story, but she had a great, great sense of the humor as well. I was there, and she was suffering for some heart problem, and she made sure that she should not be admitted, whatever happens to her. So for a couple of days, she was unconscious, and we wanted to take her to the hospital, but because continuously prayer was going on. 2 days later, she got up fresh after the prayer. And you know what she said? "I went to the heaven, and St. Peter was standing there. He sent me back. There are no slums in heaven. Go back and serve again." But this is the sense of humor. Can you imagine that 48 hours later, somebody gets and tell you that. So this is exactly her personality. One side, she's so serious to serve, but she has got intense way to please the people as well. If we talk about it, it will take me a day. So I think this time, what Brother Hari has asked me to narrate in the story, he was with me. So we travel another continent. In our, we saw the beautiful South America, what has happened, the children had given the presentation so beautifully. So this camp was arranged in Guyana, British Guyana. And there are some of the people who were there in that medical camp with me. And something all these camps happen for one reason. It's not that how many people you serve. God is never going to ask you what you did. He always does something only for one thing. That there is somebody is waiting to be transformed. Somebody is in a desperate situation who's losing the faith in God. Your duty is to do something in order to bring that faith. And the president of Guyana was very happy. And with Swami's grace, he invited all of us to have a dinner in his palace as well. Normally, some of the president normally visit to cut the ribbon for the camp, but he was very different. And his wife was a social worker. She used to come to the camp. And one of her relatives, actually, was the organizer of the Sathya camp also. And he used to go to different places to tell that the campsite is in A, B, C, so the people can come. One day I was working, actually, in Freetown, and they brought a 6-year-old girl, and she was covering her face with, little, what we call a little pallu, like the children have wearing that one. And the father was very desperate. He was a Muslim, and he came, and this man introduced the doctor. This child is really suffering, and she doesn't go to the school. They really laugh at her, humiliate her because she has got very distorted eye. If something could be done about it, really that would be a great service. I looked at her and I realized I can do something about it. But you do not go for a specific program or a specific reason. You go for a general camp. This girl required a prosthesis to be fitted into the socket. She may not be able to see, but at least her face will look presentable and normal. And I knew it is a very simple process to do, but I did not have the prosthesis with me. And I felt so low looking at this father. So I told father, sir, this is a simple thing, we can do it, we can help your daughter. Unfortunately, I do not have the means to do it, but I promise, if you allow me to take the picture so I can find out the correct match, I measure the size of the socket and which side this to be in, so I can order when it will come. One of our colleague here can do that. He said, for last 1.5 years, I have been to different places. People are coming to doing this thing. Nobody has done anything for my child. And he looked to this old gentleman. He said, you have wasted my time. I told you, I was standing in front of the mosque and telling that Allah does not exist because my child is suffering and he's not looking after my child. That was he came to the verge of breaking, to denying God. In faith, he was brought up. It was a scene, actually. Everybody was stunned. I think Bob, actually, he was there at that time. Probably he made a film as well about it. So I was praying to Swami intensely. My wife helps me to, to pack the things because I'm in and out and all those things. Probably he spent half of the time taking the things out and putting for the next camp and all those things. And she realized here what are the things not required. So I realized that this particular thing was not in my bag. But I wanted to take the camera out to take the picture. With the great difficulty, we convinced, because the president's wife was there, she's a social worker. He told this man, I promise that this will be done. Let the doctor take the picture. I put my hand, I'm not a good cameraman, normally I never take many pictures. So as I put my hand to take the picture, I took the camera out and a small little box fell on the floor. It is 1 in a million chance the color to match, say the size of the small socket of a 6-year-old child and the correct size, it was the right size. You have to select in so many eyes to find that is a correct matching color and it is the correct size and correct shape, and on the side it has to go. Right it was there, one prosthesis in that bag. I just fell on my knee and I told this man, don't deny Allah, He is there. I took the girl to the little minor operating room and all those things like that. It took about 15, 20 minutes. And when she came out, I showed her before I showed to the father, a little mirror. When she looked at her face, she hugged me. And that hug was probably more than $1,000 if you see a patient and do an operation. She really clung to me and she could not express her joy. And she just wanted to go to the village to tell the people, look, I've got beautiful 2 eyes. She may not be able to see there. And when I brought this girl into the main room, all these people were standing. And when they looked, the father looked at that thing. You know what he did? He just went on to the knee and did the namaz. Oh Allah, forgive me, I denied you. But you have sent the angels to put my faith back into you. That is the reason Swami arranges the medical camp. It is not that how many operations he has done. One person, he's praying, he knows sitting in Puttaparthi, this is your role. When the drama unfolds, I will help you. But through the purity of your heart, you had to pray. Then only I'll come to help you. This is the so wonderful thing. And this takes me to when I talk about this angel, is reminded me another story. I think it's a time we saw a beautiful, sketch about Victor Kanu. I am very fortunate because I had known Victor Kanu when he was in London and Genevieve, and I had an opportunity to do a medical camp in Zambia in the same school. And my first talk, I told you that Joseph was the interpreter, and when he was interpreting and cried, he became the doctor to serve his own country. That is what the motive these children are. Victor Kanu had one intention, because he always wanted to go back to do something for his motherland, Sierra Leone. And probably you all heard that story in the morning that he was the ambassador, and he was asked by Swami to resign, then sell his house and go to Zambia, which was not his country at all. And this man was tipped to become the president of Sierra Leone, Victor Kanu. But Swami says, no, you just resign. That is before he sold everything. Swami only knows what is the future is. At that time, it might look, Swami, I'm losing such a great opportunity. People will know that one of your devotees is a president of a country. Who bothers? Whether you are a president or you are an ordinary person, Swami looks at not your credential, your merit. He looks at your love, how pure it is. That's what exactly. I've seen many of the presidents comes and goes there. Swami sometimes do not even look at those ministers. They sit there for 2 days and ultimately they go away. But if there is a person walking all the way from Nepal and to do the Padayatra, all of the things, Swami will wait at the gate to receive that group. That is Swami's love for the people. So he asked me, Dr. Upadhyay, we have to do a medical camp in Sierra Leone. And how many of you have seen the film called Blood Diamond? DiCaprio, yes. That is the town we were given to do the medical camp. That is where he comes from. And it's a place called Yonibana. And when we went, you could still see the scar of that civil war. Most of the people, either their hands are chopped off, legs chopped off, just for $1. Because, the rebel country who has forced this particular thing, people have lost faith in everything and they've just moved into the bushes. That was the situation. Our job was to establish the love in those people. And it was a difficult thing. Every time I go to a medical camp, on the first day of the medical camp, you have got 400, 500 people queuing for to be seen. This was first medical camp. I did not even have 10 people waiting for the medical camp. Surprise, Victor. I looked at Victor looked at me. And one thing I also tell you, the importance of water. It was very difficult to get drinking water there. So every morning we were given 2 liters of the water. That is your water to bath, drink, eat, whatever you want to do. If you finish, there was no water till the next day. That is how, because they have to get the water 100 miles from Freetown, the capital. So we have to really conserve. First time we realized how important the water. This is Swami's teaching to us was that don't misuse the water. So I looked at Victor looked at me, and we were thinking, we realized these people have been conned so many times to ask to keep their clothes and other things like that, and they were, attacked. So nobody wanted to come. They think probably it is just some people have come to con us. But after about, few hours, when they looked, actually, we are genuine people, they started coming. It was a huge camp. It was going on. It was the 4th day of the medical camp. We were doing the medical camp, and it was about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and suddenly there was a roar at the gate. That one truck came and dumped some of the bodies at the gate, and the truck disappeared. And they called me, the doctor come, that these people are very badly injured. There was a huge collision of an army truck and these workers going on. And some of them were so badly injured, head ripped off, their tummy open and the spine broken, and you can see the open fracture, the blood coming out. We have gone for the medical camp to treat the people, not deal with the emergency. Neither we had the means for the transfusion or giving any sort of treatment. We are using the small sutures for the eye operations, which is the size of your hair, and the needle is the size of your eyelash. Those people who have worked in ophthalmology, can you imagine with such a small thread, you are trying to stitch the wound, which is 9 inches gapping wound into the leg? What can you do? These people were dying there. We all stopped the camp and prayed to Swami. Swami, if any one of these person died, nobody will think that how many people we have helped to cure. One person dies, the name will, spoil the name of the Zionist. Please help, please help. And at that time, the intensity of the prayer was so much that we did not realize that we were in Sierra Leone. We were just engulfed as if that whole sky was Zion, nothing else. Come, Swami, and help. That was the prayer. And at that time, actually, the people also realized we started doing whatever. Luckily, Swami knows that how to train the people for the future. I was in army, so I had learned, to deal with the mass casualties during the time of the war when people come with the bullet injuries and other things like that. So we started doing the first aid with. We did not have the bandages to cover, but we had some new sheets. We cut them into small bandages and start covering the wound. These people were so much lost the blood and everything, it was impossible to keep them alive. They needed blood transfusion. Leave alone blood. There was no saline or glucose water in that village to give. What to do? One of the nice younger, her name is Hema, she was also working with us. She's a nurse. And somehow she took a bucket full of water, put some vibhuti, and started putting in the mouth. In normal circumstances, I would have shouted at her, what sort of a nurse you are? Person must have an internal bleeding, and if you are giving this water, realizing what Swami says, refer the case to me. She was doing that. Just a little vibhuti water into their lips. And these people who are just lying, we did not know actually whether they will survive after 2 hours or not. Prayers on our lips, and we're trying to do whatever. Everybody stopped the camp. Now the sun is about to set unto the plains of Africa. All sorts of creatures, reptiles, scorpions in the grass, and all these bodies are lying there. What to do? We broke the benches and all those things to make the splinters. There was not enough place to put them on the plank. This is what was the situation was. And at that time, Swami says, I test you. When he sent Hanumana to, Lanka with the ring, Hanuman did not have a very good time. It was tested. He was grabbed by the Sursa in the first place. I want to eat you up. Somehow he overcome that difficulty. Then Sihenika was waiting to catch through the shadows. Still his troubles is not over. Another Lankini is waiting right at the gate for Hanuman. If you are a chosen devotee as well, you are put to more test. At that time, I had a gentleman who was manning our generator. He came to me. We are already given enough amount of the diesel to run the generator till the sunset. And the sun was already setting. This man, his name is Francis. He came to me. He said, Dr. Upadhyay, you have got 40 minutes. How many times I have got? You have got 40 minutes actually to clear all these people from here. Then there will be absolute dark. There was no electricity on the roads and everything. We informed the police to come take care of these people. They said, we have got no means to travel because we don't have the diesel, and if we come by the cycle, it will take us such a long time. We didn't want to get involved in the medical legality because that is instruction from the organization. But police says, brothers, if you can do something, do. If they die, they die. So many people die in our country after the war. Do something. Your God will help you. The word, your God will help you. As if we got the mantra. And that time, I told this man, Francis, don't disturb me. You do one thing. Whatever you do, you put water, you put vibhuti, anything into that thing. But I want that generator to run till we clear the last patient properly. You won't believe it was 10:45. For 4 hours, the generator ran without any diesel, and there was a light for us. That is what, when you try to do something. Sister Aparna was telling that story. That is where that unseen hand is there to help you. Don't fail to call him. The moment you call him, he will be there. And there it was. Generator ran, and ultimately we found a place. We took these bodies, and next morning we were supposed to transport. We did not have any ambulances, so we went out to the street, and there was The dumpers were from France. These people were working on the roadside. We requested, and Swami made a miraculous way. A new dumper was given to us. We converted into the makeshift ambulance, put all our mattresses and sheets with the one doctor and nurses. We sent them 100 kilometers to the Georgetown. And when these bodies reached the Georgetown to the hospital, that was a news flash. That is a miracle that 36 hours these people were lying without any treatment, but God only knows what miracle was there. They were still alive. And they had intense, not a single person died. The president of the country, he was... When the news came on the newspaper and everything, the president of the country was flying to Mecca for Hajj. When he heard this story, he changed his program. He rang Victor Kanu. Victor Kanu is well known in Africa, and probably they were contemporaries. Both they studied in the Oxford. You all know probably Victor Kanu is also known as Dr. Krishna Victor Kanu. He changed his name to Krishna. And he was PhD doctor. So when Victor came and he said, Dr. Upadhyay, the president is coming to visit. I said, Victor, we are running 1.5 days late because of this emergency. And if the president comes and start lecturing unnecessarily, another 3-4 hours go. He says, I can't say no to him. Intelligent man, educated man, he came and he said, Doctor, I'm not going to take one time. In front of all the people who are waiting in from the registration office, he went there and he went on his knees and he said, I do not have to go to Mecca. This is my Mecca. The rebels came and did the killing. Sighing angels came and they did the healing of my country. You have healed the heart of my people. I salute to your master. That is what Swami wants us to do. There will be problems. So brothers and sisters, the whole thing, what I am trying to say, it is not what we do. Can you imagine? We did not do anything. Swami created this little drama in order to infuse the faith and love for the people. And today, the two things happen in that country. They have got a Sai organization and they have got the first Sai hospital in Africa. It is running and many of the people go every few months to work. They're in different batches and other things like that. People have given the water pump, the people come and do that one. Just a small initiative, the dream of Victor Kanu that my motherland must have a medical camp. Leave alone the medical camp. If you have got respect for your motherland, you can do anything as Swami did for the mother. Made, instead of the hospital, he made the super specialty hospital. From the school, he made the university. From Little Well, he made the water project. And same thing, Victor Kanu's dream was a medical camp. Now there is a wonderful hospital and a science center running. You should have that intention into that one. This is what exactly the connection is. We all know that we all love God. We all love God. But how many of us are there that God loves you? How many of us you know that God really loves you? Probably He loves you. But are we fortunate enough that God really shows His love? And He shows in a very small way. There was a small little incident actually, which I said, Na jaane kis bhes mein Baba mil jaye Bhagwan re. You know, when I always start my talk anywhere, I said, I salute you because the Baba lives in you. The reason is, I have got so many incidences. The Swami has come in a different form to disguise and all those things. And if you do something wrong, when I go back, he said, why you did do this thing? So I do not know which one of you is a real Swami, so I salute all of you, so that he will not tell me off. So that is what I learned from him. So this beautiful incident is in Puttaparthi. I had a patient actually, he lost his eye and he was very worried about other eye because of the inflammation, and he will always come a beautiful, wonderful soul. He went to Puttaparthi and he takes his old man, he takes his own time. So, after the morning thing, people go and have the coffee and then come back again for the bhajans and other things. So this man actually decided that he will have the proper darshan. So he decided to have a coffee first so that he can sit and in case Swami comes, he can have darshan. So he went, gave the token, got his coffee, just walking. And you know where the, accommodation, old accommodation office in front of the South Indian canteen, it ends, there is a tree, and under that tree there's old man Sen Sanatan Sarthi's Indian edition and Telugu edition. I don't know how many people remember. There was an old man sitting under the tree there. And he asked this man, "Sir, can you get me a cup of coffee? I can't walk." So this man says, "I'll give you a token. You can take the token because I will wait for darshan." He says, "Sir, I don't have a strength to walk to the canteen to get." It was not very far. So this fellow said, fine. He left the token and walked few yards. Something told him that this is not right. He turned back, went back, got a cup of coffee and gave it to him. By the time Swami has already come and that poor man could not go inside. So you know the big VIP gate where people come out. There's a small gate where VVIP goes in, and there's another big gate where VIPs goes. So he stood in front of that. In all love and compassion, Swami came out and went right to the gate and he said, "What a lovely coffee it was. Na jaane kis bhes mein Baba mil jaye Bhagwan." You never know. How much time I have got, brother? 5. I think I have spoken enough. I just wanted to show 2 pictures to you what Swami loves. Swami's loved them. And there is a 5-minute film. I can go on talking, but this film summarized before the YouTube started. Now, Dr. Reddy's team and Brother Hari has put every single thing which happens all over the world you can watch. But this is the pre-era, very rusted film that is made with a lot of love. So you see, look at this lady. This lady has lost 14 children and grandchildren due to Ebola in Africa. You heard about Ebola? 14 children out of half of the family gone. And he came to see our psychiatrist there. Can we show the second picture, brother? And look at him. She was so sad that my life has gone. Look at the dress in the previous picture. He is really like a drag he's wearing. And now he has got such a bright dress. And look at this smile. Only one thing the psychologist told her, the Swami's famous quote, that, "Oh, my dear mother, don't think your glass is half empty. It is half full. Your 14 children and grandchildren may not come back again, but what you have, enjoy with them." He went them and came back to thank the doctors. That is the Sai love, how you can transform the people. Simple words can transform the people. This lady who has lost half of the family. And now I'll request brother to just show this family. This shows that when we are all calm, beautiful water, beautiful air, and all those things we're enjoying. When we disturb the scene where the swans and other things like that, same water can become furious in the form of the tsunami and the earthquakes, and this is what has happened. Swami has taken me to a war-torn countries in Bosnia and other things like that. And some of the scene depicts onto that one. So please just enjoy that film. This is this calm period. We all enjoy the nature. This is the beauty of the nature. God has given to us that beautiful planet. Where the water is not there, He makes sure people get the water. But many of the places, you do not close the tap and it runs out. The beautiful, tranquil atmosphere. Daily life going in normal way, and that earthquake hits, tsunami hits, and the same beautiful town and tranquil atmosphere changes. This is the disaster. These are the war zones. These are the drought created by human beings. The food supply, people made the human chains so that it can reach from the big, the gorge where people cannot find. Sri Lanka, the whole train after the tsunami has almost lost everyone in the train. This was an orphanage. A few years ago, we went to work there, and that was the condition. These are the queues in the medical camp I was talking in Africa. These are the people waiting for the operations. These are the people in Russia, they go and build the complete renovation of the hospital, and they make it from that condition to this condition. Swami says, no compromise. Wherever you go, take the best facilities for the poor people in the remotest part of the world. These are our young adults who are distributing the medicine with great love. And every packet has got vibhuti, every medicine packet. And look at the humility, the way they are giving. That is the interpreter I was talking about you. Loving care. Put a smile on the mother who was thinking the child has got something serious. This is 2 o'clock in the morning, doctor is still working. Look at his eyes, he's almost, and these are the queue. You are examining the patient in the corridors. It's a grateful patient who said, I have never had so much respect and love in my life. These are the volunteers carrying the fluoride patient in Prashanti Nilayam medical camp. Vaccination done by the young adults into the villages. The story about this young man, how he transformed to become an eye doctor. Now the challenges which you face, what would you do? These are the simple things. But when the challenges come, then the surgeon of the surgeon comes. These are the grateful patients after the operation. They sit there. And this lady has never seen the blue sky 25 years. She was totally blind. And when the bandage comes out, only one word came from a Sai Ram. This is our physiotherapist. The young cardiologist, he was trained in the camp, then he went to Puttaparthi to work. This optometrist, the children who could not see because in tsunami glasses have washed away. 2,800 glasses were prescribed in one day. Equipment, Swami says, I'll provide your duties, make sure that everything goes and you do not have any excuse that you did not have the proper equipment. And these are some terrible things come across. This is a patient who suffers from HIV. And you can see the number of the doctors day and night have to work. And this is that HIV patient who could not even open his eyes. His family has rejected him. Lovingly, he has become the Sai volunteers. Young man is adopted back in the society. Where you will find in the villages the person who has got a hole in the heart, but Swami provides all the information. This is the tumor which is coming out. If it is left, patient would have died. And this is the tired, operation theater worker. And this is the tumor into the nose which is obstructing the person. Some of the things probably I should, but just wanted to show that how Swami makes it possible. In a proper operation theater it would have been difficult, but Swami makes it a great success to win the heart of the people. These are the people who come, and you won't believe, simple love, vibhuti and ordinary treatment, they all become all right. People cannot go out because people laugh at them. This is a child brought with a severe deformity. Probably you all recognize Mangusi. This is malnutrition food I was talking about. People do not get to. This is an earthquake. This father lost everything. He's still waiting for his son will be buried and come out. This is somewhere in Afghanistan and Pakistan, these people in the tents. This is serving the food to the relatives who come with the patients. If you don't treat these people, they will never come back again. Of course, this was needed about 4 operations. We have to refer him to South Africa. These are the prostheses we have to provide the people who could not walk because they had a lot of difficulties. This is filariasis, a simple treatment, but the patient has a lot of problems walking. Swami really shows you the challenges and how fortunate we are that Swami has given everything normal. Use those hands and legs to walk to these people. It's a blood transfusion because you require a lot of blood. And Swami makes sure that you do not leave anything behind like infected needles and other things like. And that is the reward, the Mother Teresa. This is a leper. I gave the eyesight, but he wanted to eat and write. So we made a claim for him. And this is the joy from all ages. These are the tsunami children. That Swami offers his hand like a child, hold it. Don't, Swami, hold your hand. You may lose it. You hold his hand so you can never lose it. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Upadhyay.
You made us all cry.
I was really in tears just listening about the story of the little girl where the faith of the father was reinstilled through that experience that he went through. After this video that we saw and just hearing all the stories, I think I can tell on behalf of everybody here that we're just grateful for everything that we have. Swami has really blessed us all.
Yeah, I think putting anything in words is like bringing the vibrations down. Seriously. I didn't know that your speech, like when somebody said that, it was really transforming. But thank you so much. By showing all this, you really made us understand how blessed we are today. I mean, whatever we have, every day we all mourn on what we don't have, but we don't realize the other full part of the glass, and we only focus on the empty part of the glass. But I think it's really a very good take home. And thank you so much. And also thank you for appreciating the womanhood. Thank you so much.
Yes. I'm sure. Thank you. Yeah, thank you again for talking about girl power. I'm sure all the women here are really driven to spread more love and do more.
I'll be failing in my duty. People think I'm doing all this work. I would not have been able to do this work at all because that force behind me, and that is a woman as well, she never liked me to mention. She has told me, don't mention about me. Luckily, this time she is with me. My wife Rekha, she has taken all the pains and everything. I am such a bad husband. I did not know how my 3 children grew and whatever they are today, and she keep them connected with the Swami, and Brother Sonam has blessed them as well when he visited our home. And till date, I do not know what is a post office, what is a bank, and what is shoppings and other things. Like, despite of growing, making the children grow in the side pole and putting up with this, bad husband who is never there for her, I'm really thankful to the God who has given me such a wonderful gift. Rekha.